Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And Conference Championship Week is finally upon us. This week, we finally get to see who ends up in the Super Bowl. In the AFC, we have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And in the NFC, we got the Philadelphia Eagles playing host to the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I asked you guys on my community tab poll, which two teams do you think will go to the Super Bowl? And it was a very close poll, with the Eagles versus Bengals being at 36% and the 49ers versus Bengals being at 37%. So you guys think the Bengals will be in the Super Bowl majority, and it will either be versus the Eagles or the 49ers. Stay tuned to the end of this video to get my picks on the Super Bowl. I will preview each game, and then I will determine my picks at the very end. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But before I talk about each of these games and tell you guys my picks, make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues to help this channel to grow. And if you are not subbed, make sure you click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any other videos that I post on this channel. But without further ado, let's dive in. First game that we have on Sunday is the NFC Championship game where the Eagles play host to the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams very hot. I think the Niners are the hotter team, but it's interesting to see if this can continue for quarterback of the 49ers, Brock Purdy. Can he continue to not look like a rookie? So far in his starts, he is not really look like that rookie quarterback that comes in and he struggles. He hasn't really looked like that throughout his first couple of starts. It does help that on the offensive side of the ball, he has guys like Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, who's used very effectively, and George Kittle to really help with this. And he has one of the better offensive lines led by, I believe, the best left tackle in the game, and Trent Williams. And they're going up against this Philadelphia Eagles defense that is nothing to slouch on, with guys like Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Robert Quinn, Jordan Davis, Hargrave, and all those guys up front that can create havoc in their front. Now, the thing that is going to get to me about this Niners offense going up against this Eagles defense is, can the Eagles create enough pressure on Brock Purdy to really make him look like the rookie that he has not looked like? They have the ability to. And the thing is, another question is James Bradbury and Darius Slay going up against these receivers in Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, who has really begun to progress as a wide receiver each and every single season that he has been in the league. This 49ers can attack you with the running game, whether it's McCaffrey, whether it's Elijah Mitchell, Deebo Samuel. They would use him in packages as well. And Brock Purdy, he is no slouch with his athletic ability. He can move around and create some havoc for this Eagles defense. It is going to be interesting to see how they defend the multitude of weapons that the San Francisco 49ers can throw at them. And before I go into the Eagles offense versus the 49ers defense, I want to give a big shout out to two fellow YouTubers that are really good. I've collaborated with Jay and the Bay. He is a big time 49ers fan. I've went live with him on both occasions where the Bears ended up taking on the 49ers. And I'll shout out to Alcabir, the analyst. He is a big diehard Eagles fan. Two very good guys, two very good YouTubers. And if you guys are a fan of either of those teams, make sure you guys check out their content. It is very good, and I appreciate the work that those two guys do, talking about the Eagles and 49ers respectively. Now, getting back into this game, we have, I believe, one of the hotter defenses, and I think the best defense that we had throughout the course of this 22-23 season, which is the San Francisco 49ers. And you're going up against Eagles offense that is very explosive as well, with Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Gainwell, things that they can do in the running game. A.J. Brown, I believe, has been the biggest acquisition of any team this offseason. He and Devontae Smith have really helped elevate the passing game of this Philadelphia Eagles offense. Quez Watkins has been very solid. Dallas Goedert has been another weapon. And they also possess one of the better offensive lines in football. Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Kelsey Sumalo, and Lane Johnson, I think, make up one of the best offensive lines in football. And they also have a tough task on their hands, stopping guys like, I believe, the Defensive Player of the Year and Nick Bosa. Eric Armstead can make some havoc. Javon Kinlaw, Samson Ebukam. This 49ers front can create pressure on Jalen Hurts. And the only thing that I think that's going to separate, of course, the Eagles offense, 49ers offense, and what they can do is Jalen Hurts is way more athletic than Brock Purdy. And the things that this Eagles offense does with a guy like Jalen Hurts, with running the football, the RPOs, the design runs, they cause a lot of havoc with that offense. And this 49ers defense, Charvarius Ward has been a very solid guy in their corner. Tashawn Gibson has been a find from our Chicago Bears. And Fred Warner, one of the best linebackers that we have in the NFL. Him and Dre Greenlaw have made a very, very good linebacking core, kind of similar to what Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman did during the early 2010s with their 49ers defense. So they have that kind of similarity as in effectiveness and dominance on that side of the football. And what this game is going to come down to is which team is going to be able to make the key stops and which quarterback is going to make the clutch throw to win the ball game. The running games for both teams, I believe, will be successful. They will do things in the running game to help with their passing game. I just believe whatever quarterback and whatever defense can make a stop and whatever quarterback can make the necessary clutch throw, I think is what is going to win this game for each one of these teams. Second game of the day is the Cincinnati Bengals are going to travel to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is this Kansas City Chiefs offense versus the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Now, the Chiefs offense, of course, you have who I believe will be the MVP in this season, and Patrick Mahomes, taping up against this Cincinnati Bengals defense led by Von Bell, who has been all over the football. He's from The Ohio State. Sam Hubbard, The Ohio State. And that defensive front that the Cincinnati Bengals possess. Now, of course, this Kansas City Chiefs offense hasn't been without Tyreek Hill, and it's just like they haven't missed a single beat. Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon, some of the things that they could do with the running game and their speed. Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Kadarius Toney has been a very good addition to this football team. And of course, you have the best tight end in football, in my opinion, and Travis Kelce. And you have this Cincinnati Bengals defense that they are starting to get better as the year goes along. And we've seen them last week pretty much put the clamps on one of the better offenses in the NFL in the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe they produce more of a speed challenge than what the Buffalo Bills presented to the Cincinnati Bengals. And I just believe it's not going to be as physical because Kansas City doesn't really run the ball as much. Neither did the Buffalo Bills either, but I just believe there's going to be a speed element with all the things that the Kansas City Chiefs can do and all the formations that they really run with their offense. Now, the biggest question on the Cincinnati Bengals defense, unfortunately for me as an Ohio State fan, has been Eli Apple. Some of his play has been up and down. Even last year, this year has been a little bit up and down. Cam Taylor-Britt has been a really good find for them. Trey Flowers has been really solid for them. DJ Reader up front for their defensive line has been very good. BJ Hill, they created a lot of pressure on the Buffalo Bills last week. And you're going up against Orlando Brown Jr., who has really not been the best in my opinion. Joe Thuney has been solid. Creed Humphrey, one of the better centers in the league. And Trey Smith and Andrew Riley on that offensive line. I just believe this Cincinnati Bengals defensively they can create some problems with Hubbard and Hendrickson on each side getting after Patrick Mahomes. And the thing about Patrick Mahomes coming into this week is how is that high ankle sprain going to hold? Now, we all know, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to play anyway. It's just the pain tolerance and the mobility, which has been a big weapon for him this season. How is it going to hold up against the Cincinnati Bengals team that can really rush the quarterback? Now we're going to go into this Kansas City Chiefs defense, taking on Joe Burrow in that Cincinnati Bengals offense. Now, Joe Burrow has been one of the hotter quarterbacks just the later part of this season by himself. Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine have really started to run the football well. Of course, you got that three-headed wide receiver monster in Chase, Higgins, and Boyd. And Trenton Irwin has played a very solid role with this football team. Now, the biggest question is that offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals. Is it going to hold up against a guy like Frank Clark, Chris Jones? Are they going to be able to hold up? Carlos Dunlap as well can create some pressure. Joe Burrow has done well moving around and escaping pressure and finding his guys down the field. And it's going to be interesting to see how this secondary for the Kansas City Chiefs, who I personally believe is the weakest spot of their defense, going up against Chase, Higgins, and Boyd. And we've seen this matchup, and Jamar Chase has great days against this Kansas City Chiefs secondary. And I think it is going to be a good day for this wide receiving core for the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow has been spreading the football around to his weapons, and they've really come alive running the football with Mixon and Perine. It's just interesting to see, can they create enough pressure to really make Joe Burrow uncomfortable? And it seems like that has been very hard to do with any football team. No matter how the offensive line has looked at times, Joe Burrow has still just looked like Joe Cool. Even though the Jarius Sneed and guys like Justin Reed, Trent McDuffie they've been solid, but I still believe that is the weakest part of this Kansas City Chiefs defense going up against the Cincinnati Bengals offense that could be very explosive. And as we've seen the last three matchups against the Kansas City Chiefs, they have pretty much moved the football almost at will. Now, I will be a reminder, I asked you guys who will win and who will make it to the Super Bowl. Most of you guys think the Bengals will make it. 36% voted against the Eagles, and 37% voted to go against the 49ers. And my pick for these games and who will make it to the Super Bowl will be the 49ers going up against the Bengals. Now, I picked the 49ers in this ball game because I think defensively they are going to do enough and keep that Philadelphia Eagles offense at bay. And I think Brock Purdy, even though I think his play might diminish a tad, I still don't think he's going to look like a rookie quarterback, despite the Eagles having a very good defense. It's just a multitude of weapons that this 49ers team has, and the things that Kyle Shanahan can do, I think it's going to create some problems for this Eagles defense. And the Eagles offense, I think they are going to be stifled just a tad by the way the San Francisco 49ers defense has been playing the last couple of weeks. And I picked the Cincinnati Bengals. I just think Joe Burrow is going to have a very good day throwing the football because I just do not believe in the secondary of the Kansas City Chiefs against the three-headed wide receiver monster. And then you add Trenton Irwin and things he's been able to do on third down and in situational plays. I just think that the Chiefs are going to kind of be against their own element because I think that Chiefs defense gets better when they have a lead. And I don't think they're going to have a big lead in this ball game so they could be more aggressive up front because that Cincinnati Bengals team can score points right along with that Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City offense. So for my picks, I'm going to go San Francisco 49ers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl. But those are just my thoughts and my picks and my preview of these games this Sunday. Make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues to help this channel to grow and it beats the algorithm. Make sure you guys comment you guys' thoughts down below. Who do you think will make the Super Bowl? why, and all that. I would love to see you guys in the comment section down below. And as always, click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the posts in my videos. But I'm APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next of the day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.